The Prophet's relationship with the Jews. The Jews of the Arabian Peninsula lived in two areas, the north, Medina, and the south, certain areas of Yemen. The Jews in the northern part of the Arabian Peninsula were represented by three tribes, Banu Kainuka, Banu Qurayza, and Banu al-Nadir. Outside of Medina, Jews lived in Khaybar, Fadak, Taim, and several other places. More than 20 Jewish tribes lived in these areas. These Jews arrived in Arabia after their ancestors fled Palestine, fleeing the armies of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. King Nebuchadnezzar II destroyed their temple and took most of the Jews living in that region into captivity. This occurred as early as 586 BCE. Some managed to escape to the Hijaz. They settled in the northern part of the Arabian Peninsula. New Jews arrived in these territories after the Romans occupied Palestine in 66 BCE. Fleeing Roman persecution, some Jews also fled to the Hijaz. These Jews settled in Yathrib, Medina, Khaybar, and Taim. Some Arabs under their influence converted to Judaism. These Jews maintained religious and ethnic intolerance toward other peoples, although they adopted the Arab language, clothing, and names. They never intermarried with the Arabs and generally treated them with contempt, calling them illiterate and goyim. They also believed that the property of the Arabs was not inviolable to them and that they could appropriate it by any means necessary. They do this because they say, "We will not be blamed for these ignorant people." They deliberately invent lies against Allah. Surah 3, the family of Imran, verse 75. Instead of spreading their religion, they engaged in witchcraft and other practices. The Jews controlled all trade in the area where they lived, especially the arms and alcohol trade, and were engaged in usury. They set various Arab tribes against each other, fanning the flames of hostility between them in order to profit from these wars. By trading in weapons and engaging in usury, they grew rich and gained influence in Medina and its environs. The Jews certainly knew that Muhammad was truly a prophet sent by Allah and that he was truthful in his words, for they knew the scriptures well. His coming was foretold in the scriptures and his attributes were mentioned. They recognized him as the prophet mentioned in their scriptures. Nevertheless, they rejected the truth. Allah, the Most High, said, "But when there came to them what they recognized, they refused to believe in him." Surah 2, verse 89. They refused to believe in Muhammad for two reasons. First, because of their arrogance, and second, because of their fear of losing their immense wealth. They understood that if Islam were victorious, significant cultural, economic, and political changes would occur in Arabia. To prevent this, they began to plot against the Muslims and prepared for war with Muhammad and his companions. Despite this, the Messenger of Allah in the early days after migrating to Medina, treated them leniently and generously in accordance with the values and ideals of Islam. War with them began only after they began to plot and intrigue against the Islamic State, trying to harm it in every possible way.